Okay, so this is the video that's going to go with our yoga asana HIIT series. So what you'll need is a little sheet of paper with all the bits and bobs on. If you've got them, any equipment, so kettlebells, any weights, resistance bands, sliders and socks, and a slidey floor if you don't have a sliders. We're not actually going to go and do a practice today. We're just going to take each individual posture bit by bit. So that's the aim of this video. It's just so that you can do your own personal HIIT practice and know what you're doing, so you don't look at the sheet and go, what the hell does that mean? So firstly, you want to download an interval app. So the one that I use is BS Free Interval Timer. It might be that you've got that on your watch. It might be that you've got it somewhere else. That's fine. I just find it really, really helpful. And you want to decide how many rounds you want to do and how long those rounds are and how much break in between. So the first couple of times that you do this, it might be that you discover that the timing or the amount of rounds are not quite perfect, and you might want to adjust. So the first few times, just take it as a little explore as opposed to something that has to be done perfectly. Just have a little play with it, I would suggest. So you got that, you know how many you're doing. Factor in, if you've got 26 rounds of a minute, but you've got 30 seconds rest in between, that's going to be 45 minutes. So just factor that in if you want something shorter. Typically I do about 35 minutes. Maybe start off with 45 seconds working and then 15, 20 seconds rest. Maybe that's a great one to start. Right. Before you get started, so when you come to your practice, make sure you've got the sheet, make sure you've got your equipment, and then you want to warm up. So I've been warming up with using music and literally kind of aerobic moves. So all the warm up wants to do is, if you focus on really getting the heart rate up and moving the spine in lots of different directions and moving the shoulders in lots of different directions and getting the legs involved, you won't really go wrong. So it's nice if you put like a little chair pose or a squat in something like a reach. So if you squat and chair and then come back up and then maybe have a twist to the side, squat, twist to the side. You can do the same thing. You can squat, chair down, and then lift up, sideways stretch, squat, lift up. Brilliant. Take as long as you want in that little phase. Freestyle movement, whatever. It might just be star jumps, might be skipping on the spot. I really like to do skipping on the spot as long as it feels nice for the ankles and the knees, so your choice. Right, let's get straight into it. Let's change my camera. If this doesn't work, because it actually has been really temperamental, then we're just going to have to really plow on through this camera. It's going to be interesting. Yes. Okay. Plank, really nice and easy. We do it almost every class for a reason. It's going to feel different though, because it's going to be for longer. So as usual, in your plank, your feet are hip distance apart, hands are shoulder width apart, and maybe your wrists can be a tiny bit further forward than the shoulders. Don't let the shoulders collapse in, keep them broad, lift the belly, squeeze the inner thighs. Or inner thighs, because hopefully there's not inner thighs. Inner thighs. We don't want inner thighs anywhere. So plank, that should be nice and easy. This is a great place to stop and say you can add weight to most of these postures. So if you want, you can pop a weight somewhere on your back, probably kind of hips. Just make sure that it feels all right. If you want to, make sure it doesn't fall off. Second thing on our little thing, I've said thing quite a lot, is dolphin. So again, let's just pause. I wouldn't necessarily do 2 upper body things in a row. I'd upper body, then lower body, upper body, then lower body. But on our list, which isn't in order, I've just literally written it down as it's come to me, or as I've written it down on my own list. So you've done plank. Dolphin. Key to dolphin is keeping the elbows fairly narrow, don't let them come out. And Rather than taking the shoulders back towards the feet, allow the shoulders to come in line with the elbows. Your body's going to want to rock you back. It's going to be easier, but keep them in line. Keep pushing the floor away. So those notes that I've put in your paper, those are for you to write anything down that you think might be pertinent to you. So if you know in your dolphin that you often see or you feel the elbows kind of splaying out, pop that in your note. You know, watch elbows. If you know in your dolphin that you often feel yourself kind of coming back, then just remind yourself to travel forward. Lovely. Low bridge. So I love bridges. Again, it's something we do almost all classes because they are amazing. Low bridge is a bridge, but low. Who knew? We're going to keep the curve of our lower back, so there's no tucking of the pelvis. We've untucked, we've kept the curve of the lower back neutral. Feet are parallel, and then from here, really let the lower back come off the earth. So press the lower back in, just feel what that feels like. And then lift the lower back off. So it's almost as if the hips are kind of dangling down, they feel really weighty. Keep that dangle as you lift the legs. So really keep dangling the butt down, keep it heavy. So you'll notice that we can't actually lift the hips very high, because if we do, we won't be dangling, we'll be in a tucked position. So we really want to be in an untucked position as we lift. Should hopefully be feeling this in the back. And then lower down. If that feels a little bit subtle, because I know it might not be one that we've gone through with a low bridge, just come into a bridge that feels comfortable. It's really fine. Second thing, hopefully this is on my list. Yes, block bridge. So this is an inner thigh work. So you're squeezing the block in between and simply lift the hips. Yeah, get comfortable with the feet and staying here, squeezing the block. So again, we're thinking about the inner thighs, so we don't ever want the block to be not squeezed. So we've got block bridge, we've got low bridge, and now we've got one-legged bridge. These are really, 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 really mean. So once I've shown you these, I'm going to show you a little bit of a breath break exercise. Whichever foot's going to stay down, other leg straightens to a diagonal, and you simply stay here. So one leg is one round, so don't switch in between, one leg, one round. Really easy. Now those in particular, I would imagine you're going to need a break, especially if you're doing a minute on each leg. So for your break, when you start thinking, oh, I'm literally going to collapse in this, take a little pause and just wait for your inhale. When you next inhale, you can come and rest that foot on the thigh. Exhale, still resting. Inhale to rest. And then move back on the exhale, back to that straight leg, one-legged bow, that bridge. All right, so that's our bridge series. All right, where we got wall sit. So this is one we don't do, but it's a really nice one for the thighs. Really easy. You come with your back against a wall, and you are going to keep the back of the head, shoulder blades, and the hips on the wall. Lower back is off. And then literally sit, and you're looking for a 90-degree angle. 90 degrees. Oh, there's painting there. So 90 degrees. I'm going to get in the way of the thing. Head is back, shoulder blades, hips and lower back off. Lovely. Awesome. Chaturangas, these are really mean. So definitely knees down, chaturanga. No need to go further. Oh, the little break. I've told you the little break, yeah. So again, whenever you need a break, and there might be times that you need a break, wait for the inhale. On the exhale, you're having a break. Inhale, you're still having the break. And then exhale, come back to it. All right? So rather than just kind of stopping halfway and just breathing, if you need to take a break, just take a break. Take that 1.5 breaths. The inhale, the exhale, the inhale, and then come back to it. And even if you come back for it for another 3 seconds, that's fine. Take another break, come back to it, take another break. Right? So chaturangas with the knees down. So it's like a knees down plank, basically. From here, we just soften the elbows and we come down to any level and then come back up. Soften the elbows, come back up. Now, you might start off fairly strong and then about 20 seconds in, you would have not been able to do any more. So with your chaturangas, really try not to allow the elbows to splay out and try not to let the shoulder blades come towards your ears. So it's that kind of collapsing shape. Keep everything really still. Imagine everything staying glued as you just bend and straighten. If you can get down a little bit lower, great, but it doesn't matter. Now, as I said, that 20 seconds mark, where you might have felt quite strong and then 20 seconds goes past and you're suddenly in a ball of flame. Now what you can do is take a little break, take one chaturanga, take it back to child's, take your exhale, your inhale, and then come back up, all right? So especially with those probably need a bit more of a fluid break, not just a pause. Chaturangas, wide arm chaturanga, so basically chest presses. Same as chaturanga, except the arms are wide. And then we take the elbows out to the side, not behind. So we literally bend and straighten the elbows. Really nice and simple. And again, you might start off really strong and then that 20 seconds mark. So use your child's just to rest. So you might do one wide arm chaturanga, one child, and then come back to wide arm chaturanga. Bow pulse. So we're on our belly. We bent our knees. It's a nice idea just to take the toes together. So it's a little bit of variation from bow. And we're not going to grab hold of the ankles like we do in bowl. We're going to keep it hamstrings, lower back and glutes. Arms and head can be wherever you want. But from here, we are going to press the feet together and lift the knees off of the ground. Press and lift. Press and lift. See if you can go straight up with the feet rather than what I just did, which was so straight up. Squeeze the butt straight up. Lovely. Where are we? Oh, I feel knackered already. Vashisthasana, side plank. You know it. I can't bother to show you. You can be on your forearm if it feels better. You can swatch, and this is probably one where I would do half the time on each. So don't do the full block of time, especially if you've got a minute on each. Maybe swap it over. Flat back and Kapalabhati, this is really lovely. So flat back as you're really used to. Weight is forward. Back is like a little arrow, slightly stick out the butt. Bring the belly in. Whoop. I like to have my hands somewhere. And then from here, those really lovely pumps. So again, Kapalabhati is breath work and it does affect your blood pressure. So take it easy. Kind of factor in an extra long pause after it. Just make sure that everything feels okay and is kind of petering down before you move on. If flat back doesn't really feel like anything's happening, although I'm sure again that kind of halfway point the back will really start to ache, but you can always add the arms and take the arms up over the head. Boat to half boat, really easy but really horrible. Legs are bent or legs are straight, just depends on how the hamstrings are feeling that day. Rolling the shoulders back, half boat to bow. Nice and easy. So half boat rocks. Legs are straight. We are literally rocking from side to side. Oh. So one butt cheek is coming off the ground. Little rock. So feel horrible. As do jumping down dogs. So jumping down dogs. We take a slightly shorter down dog. We take one leg up, the other knee bends significantly, so we've got a spring in our step. And then we literally jump. This one, I might suggest doing one leg then the other, rather than doing jumping just the right. I would say jump the right, then the left, and the right, then the left, left, then right, right, then left. Otherwise, that's a really quite a strong one. Frog pulses. Okay. Knees are wide, 90 degrees knees and hips, 90 degrees knees and ankles. Body comes down, press the knees into the earth, and then squeeze them together. So don't let the knees drop out, squeeze the inner thighs, try and get the knees to scrape along the floor to meet, they're obviously not going to. If you wish, you can round the upper back, draw the belly in, and it can be a little bit of a core work as well. But really the main thing is to get those inner thighs nice and active. Warrior 3 pulses, also equally mean. Block or no block, your choice. Back is like a flat back. Hips are level. So again, what's going to want to happen is it's going to want to open out, level out the hips. That floating kneecap points straight down, doesn't point off to the side. From here, fall over. From here, we're going to take pulses up. So literally little pulses. Yep, should be fitting that. Great. Warrior 3 pulses. Standing splits, raises. Right. So we're in standing splits. Head is heavy. We're folded in. That leg is just doing nothing. From here we climb up. Come up to Warrior 3 and then we climb back down. Into that forward standing splits. Warrior 3, fallen over. You get the picture. Double leg raises. I feel like this list is literally going on forever. But they're all options. These are just options I'm showing you. Definitely, this is not an exhausted list. You can add whatever you want onto it. That's why I've left blank bits. And you can take whatever else you want off. Double leg raises, if you wish. They can look something like this. They can look something like this. It might be that you want to do one at a time. So sometimes these feel a little bit strained, in which case you can take one at a time. Or double. Or whatever. Boat twists. Oh, I missed out down dog dips. What a shame. We'll do those in a minute. Boat twists. So again, boat shape. And don't just make this another boat. Really, really think about taking the twist. So really think. Maybe even it means that your legs stay down so you can really focus on the twist. Really focus on the belly button moving around. So try not to think about the shoulders just moving and the belly button staying where it is. Think about this moving first. And then coming back. This moving. Try and keep the shoulders in line. Alright. Down dog dips, they're horrible. Down dog dips. Combination of chaturanga and down dog. So all we're doing here is we're just bending the elbows out to the side and straightening, bending the elbows and straightening, bending the elbows and straightening. Goddess, your choice whether you want to stay in your goddess, good luck, or whether you want to take goddess movements. So if you're staying in the goddess, literally you're about here, trying to keep the torso, trying to keep the knees in line with the ankles, squeezing the glutes. You want to take ups and downs, literally ups and downs. Nice. While I'm standing, we'll do heel lifts into dance. I put dance, I mean dancer. So you've got your block, this works on balance. And it works lots of things. So what I'm doing. So you'll probably need a wall for this so that you can put one hand against the wall. Your heel is going to be off of whatever you're balancing on, whether that's a step or whatever, or a block. And then from here, I'm going to take hold of the mirror. You're just going to come up and down. And then as if we're going to come into that quad stretch, we take the other leg behind us. And then keep trying to lift that floating leg, heel closer to the bum. So as you, it's two different movements really. We're coming up and down with the heel, but we're also trying this heel towards the glute. You should feel it, the whole back line should work as you lift and lower. If you're feeling it more on the calf, take a pause, squeeze and release the glute a couple of times, just get that active, and hopefully it should shimmy up further up. Reverse table. These are triceps. Again, just so helpful for chaturangas. So we're in this position, reverse table. Oh, gotta get comfortable. And then from here, we're gonna bend and straighten. Reverse tables. Okay, so the next table is the things that we need. Oh, this video going on for? You know, like the never-ending story. It's like the never-ending yoga video. So, side bends with weights. Ooh, either a kettlebell. Kettlebell really suits me well, but it doesn't have to. So think about when we come into our side bends, and we're just going to add weight now. So usually we add weight by doing our hands, and that's a lovely option. If you don't have weights, you can take side stretches and then come back up. Totally fine. If you do have weights, hands can be down your side. Hands and arms are not going to move. The movement is coming from the torso. Hand stays heavy, arm stays heavy. Pop back up. If you've got normal weight, like weighted that way. So literally side to side. Warrior 3 dips. Kettlebell is a great thing. Equally, a normal handheld weight is fine. So Warrior 3 dips, as they sound. We weight the kettlebell in our hand, and we keep the kettlebell close to the standing floor as we come into Warrior 3, and then we lift back up. So it's a tipping action. in warrior 3. Tip forward, warrior 3. Great, you got it. Chest flies in warrior 3. For this you will need 2 weights. I can't be bothered to get my other weight in, so I'm just going to pretend that I've got weight in one of my hand and use my other foot for the sake of being even and balanced. So we're in warrior 3, we keep warrior 3 nice and steady. We see if we can level out the hips, we draw the core up. Yep. And then in this position, we're really leant over. Take the hands and draw them wide. Brilliant. So imagine I've got 2 weights and I'm flying the arms open. Right, warrior 3 flies. Tricep extension, arms come up above the head. What's going to want to happen is you're going to want to do this kind of back bend movement. You're going to want to stick the chest out, lift the ribs. That's fine, especially if you've got a heavy weight. If possible, take the ribs back in. You can still stick the butt out a little bit, but take the ribs back in. Straighten the elbows, bend the elbows. Straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. So I know that's not actually a yoga position, but again, for chaturanga, it's really, really helpful to be building that strength there. So now we come to our bands. So we've done these recently. You choose where you want the band and have a little play. Band on the ankle is a little bit, well, you get more range of motion, so see how you feel. Again, we're going to take our round by kicking to the side. You can absolutely use one hand to balance. Try not to counterbalance by moving over to the opposite side though. So try and stay upright. I know it's tough. And literally kick that foot out. These are really horrible. Same kind of idea, but we're going to kick backwards. So keep upright and kick back. Okay. Second thing is you look incredible. These are kind of like chair walks. So think Utkatasana where we squat. But rather than just squatting and holding, we're going to walk. So you've got your band around you, so it's going to make it really tough to take those walks. So think about squatting down and then walking forward in the band. I'm kind of running out of things. If you want, you can make that band a little bit, work a little bit harder by taking bigger steps forward. Okay, last little equivalent thing, thank goodness, is our sliders. Or you can use socks on a wooden floor. Planks to forward folds. Oh, it's almost 2 o'clock, are you actually joking? Have I been doing this for a year? So, we've got our sliders. Plank to forward fold, just as it says. It's shoulder and core work. This is great prep for those of you doing Bhujasana. Same muscles. So we come into plank, we press into the sliders and we lift the hips up into a forward fold. Notice that if we put the weight into the sliders, we can't move the sliders back. So try and keep the weight into the hands and you'll be able to slide backwards. So lift the hips, slide up, keep the weight into the hands, and you'll be able to slide the sliders back. So forward fold into plank. These are really mean. Wide arm chaturangas are really mean. I would get really proficient with your wide arm chaturangas without the sliders before attempting these. Same setup. Hips are down. But you take the arms wide, and then normally I kind of just die, put the arms back in, and then take them wide again. But you've got them should you need it. bridge slides we've done before. And again, this one I would just focus on the outward journey, not the return journey. So you're in bridge, slide the feet out, roll the hips back, take them back in. You're in bridge, slide the feet out. You are more than welcome to come to bridge, slide the feet out, and see where you can take the feet back in, but it feels ridiculous. And the last thing on the back is Bhujasana slides. So they're on our feet, on our heels rather. We've got our hands down on blocks or not. And again, if Bhujasana has been really challenging, then I probably wouldn't do 45 seconds here. I might just do a couple at a time and then give it a breather. So our hands are down. We push the floor away, lift our hips, and then slide forward and back. Well, this looks like it's actually a pleasant exercise. It's not. Right. Slides. Chair to bench, that's the last one. If you've got a low bench to hand or a chair, all you're going to do is come into Utkatasana chair pose, gently sit onto the bench, and then just as gently see if you can lift up. Now that is it. So, any questions? Wow, this has gone on for ages, hasn't it? Any questions, just ping me. And again, add to this, so make this list kind of like a happy list, so when we come into postures that you like in yoga, write them down and then make them part of your yoga HIIT. Most of the postures that we do in yoga, if we were just to hold them for a minute, they would feel really intense. The whole thing for this is just to get some nice cardio while still being familiar with the postures that we're doing. So we know the alignment feels right and we know we're in nice safe hands. Obviously, when you're finished, take a long breather. I would think about taking a Sphinx pose, just stretching out the belly, taking some shoulder stretches, and then maybe taking a twist or whatever you feel like. Okay, hopefully let me know how you get on.